This is Martin Gonzalez with Education 407, and I just wanted to present my final project, my PBQ called Turista Latinoamericano, which means Latin American tourist. In this PBQ, students are expected to submerge themselves into a Spanish-speaking country. So the way we do this is by simulating it as a sort of scavenger hunt to sort of just get all the work in. Once all the objectives or work is in, we gather up all the information we've gathered and organize all our findings into a tourism website to sort of advocate for our country, raise awareness, and campaign for it. Now, before I go on, I just wanted to explain the sidebar here. Along with the process page, because it is pretty lengthy, I've included a separate page on the roles, the resources, and the weekly timeline, in case students don't want to go through the whole thing just to get to those certain parts of the process. So the first step is for students to pick a country. I've chosen 6 different countries from all over Latin America for them to choose from. The second part is for students to choose their roles. Every role is very unique and individual. For example, the scout role, which I'll go into right here, deals with navigation and landmarks. A lot of the things that his objectives include, for example, this one, find a good summer touring location, help tourists in order to find a place or location. And with everyone, there's also a hands-on activity such as this one, which is a chalk bombing one, which I tried to make silly in order to make students feel like they're having fun while learning. This one includes having the person along with their team get a bunch of chalk and then go over some cement and draw a map of their country along with a lot of the major cities. The other roles, I'll briefly go over them, are the connoisseur, which deals with a lot of food and art related issues. For example, one of the web pages that the connoisseur would work on deals with maybe music or an artist, and embedding some art or some music into that page. The anthropologist, which deals with a lot of cultural traditions and history. For example, one of the stuff that he would do is research an indigenous group of their country. And finally, we have the marketer, who deals with not only the web design aspects of it, but also a lot of the communication sort of things that a tourist would want to know. For example, maybe a tourist wants to know what words they need to know in order to get by in this country. That's where the marketer comes in. The next part is on getting started. As you can see on a lot of these, I've included links and hyperlinks on both the pictures and the links. So every week I would like students to do a progress report, and I expect students to do 5 objectives, so there will be 5 weekly progress reports to go along with this. I've also included a PDF of the progress reports for students to work on. Now, the progress reports are done when students collaborate and meet with the rest of their group members to make sure they're on task and they're all on the same page. Next up is our resources page. As you can see here, our resources page provides a ton of links for students based on their individual countries of both, tourism related and national related sort of information. I've also included resources to help students do a lot of this stuff. For example, I had a lot of trouble with working on my Google site, so I uploaded the video that I used to help me develop my site. I've also uploaded a couple of more, such as screencasting, making a brochure, a survey, and using PicMonkey to edit pictures. Back down to my process. The last part of it is the group presentation. And at the end of the presentation, they are evaluated. There's my evaluation. So in conclusion, this project is done so that students can experience a culture firsthand, but not only experience it, but also express it, touch it, taste it, listen to it. In a lot of textbooks, we're only told about this, but by having students do this, they are experiencing it and informing others of it. Before I move ahead of myself, here is my challenge as well that I've included for students who find this too easy. There are well over 20 20 Spanish-speaking countries, of which I only provided 6. So one of the challenges I propose to students are to find a bit of cultural artifacts about each country along with a picture of their flag. My purpose for doing this is I always felt when I was taking foreign languages that there was so much emphasis on studying the language and not so much on the culture. But what we need to remember is that studying the culture helps us very much in not only communication, but also not verbal communication, but also nonverbal communication. There's a lot of certain aspects of the culture that are needed to understand the culture. So the time commitment I've allocated for this is an 8-week process with giving them 1 week per objective for students, as well as a week to prepare and a week to prepare the presentation and the week of presentations. And that is my PBQ. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great